Hi everyone, so as you know, I said throughout May I'll be making a video, and it will either be recorded on my one of my channels, or it will be live. So this video I'll be doing as a live stream on my Facebook page, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service. And what I want to talk about is reasons you're in your toxic relationship and 3 reasons to get out of it. So I just want to clarify whilst I'm making this video, I'm not talking about abusive relationships where there's coercive control. I'm not talking about domestic violence, because I've worked within that field and it's a completely different dynamic. I have made videos about safety issues when it comes to domestic violence and things like that. This is about 2 people who are in a drama-filled and toxic relationship. So both parties are knowing that that's what they're in, and both parties are engaging in that. That's a completely different thing. Some people might still continue, that can still be considered as abusive, but I just want to make that clear that I'm not talking about your domestic violence, abusive relationships where there is one person who's the perpetrator. So there's a reason that people stay or either become in these toxic relationships, or they stay in these toxic relationships. The first one is they feel like they thrive off the drama. So for some people, if their life isn't what they want it to be, and they're not getting any either excitement or any drama, or they just don't feel like anything's happening in their life, they can seek out like toxic relationships, or seek out another person who is just going to like build that drama with them. And then it can just become a thing where, you know, everyone who meets this couple says, oh, you're everywhere we go with you guys, you're always starting trouble, or the night starts good and then it always ends up with you fighting, or they're just known for that. People know them for being a toxic couple. People will say equal person, both people in the relationship are equally as toxic towards each other. So it can just become a drama-filled relationship that you just become saying to yourself, you know, this is why it is, this is my relationship, and I'm going to accept that. So that's coming on to the second one, which is it becomes habit or it becomes normalized. So whenever you're in a relationship where the 2 of you don't want to back down, it can become normal to say that this is what we do, this is us. And then if one person tries to change and switches it and tries to make it different, the other person can actually fight against that, because they can be like, well, you're boring now, or what's this relationship going to be like if we're not arguing all the time, or what's this relationship going to be not like if we're not having like really intense drama-filled moments fueled afterwards then by makeup sex. You know, there's some people that literally they thrive off it. They can't be they don't know either don't know what a healthy relationship is, or they've been in a healthy relationship and they will call that boring. They'll say, do you know what I mean? All we do is sit down, watch TV, or he's always telling me that he loves me. I don't know why he's so like clingy or so emotional and stuff. I want a man that gets jealous, you know, of when I'm talking to other men. I want a man or I want a woman that, you know, tells me that I'm no good and this sort of thing, because at least it shows me that, okay, there's so much dynamics towards this toxic relationship stuff. Because as a human being, if you don't know what a healthy relationship consists of, you've either never been in one, or your beliefs about what one is are inconsistent and are not like accurate, then you can continue to repeat the cycle of being in these toxic relationships, and you can think that this is normal. So normalizing it. And the final one is you want to win, you want to be right. So if all of your friends, family, everyone around you is saying this person's toxic, stay away from him, you either it's also wanting to save the person sometimes, because you can say to yourself, people have written me off as being, you know, toxic, or, you know, as not being that good. So I want to prove to myself that I can be, you know, someone that is better, that is in this relationship, but also that I can save them. If you look at Amy Winehouse and Blake, that's a good example, because I went to watch the film recently. Just this idea that they could not be together, but they didn't want to like separate from each other, but they knew it didn't work. And that's a good example of a toxic relationship where people are hurting each other, where people are influencing each other in a negative way, you know, where there's drugs, there's addiction, there's you know, physical violence, there's verbal violence, there's really erratic behavior, there's doing things like on impulse, like just going and getting married without telling anyone. There's all this stuff. So the exciting stuff, or the drama-filled stuff, is what keeps these people in the relationship. But then when it's a down, then that's when like it really hurts you. So it's not healthy, because it's like a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster that never ends until, and I'll talk to you about why you should break the cycle in a minute, and we'll come on to that. But yeah, you want to win, you want to be right, you want to show the world that you can be in this relationship and it's not toxic, or you can save this person, or you can change this person, or there's nothing wrong with being in it. So the reasons you should get out of these types of relationship, the first one is nobody's going to be willing to break the cycle. Again, if you look at Amy and Blake, and eventually some of, obviously from the movie and the information we hear, we're not in their lives, we don't know the full story, but it sounded like once he became clean and stopped taking drugs, he saw things differently. And to him, but also he was never committed really to Amy. He was someone that just was all over the place. But if you look at a couple like that, where neither person is willing to say that we just want normality, because that's not what they're used to. So even when, as I said, Blake got clean and he then no longer was taking drugs, Amy she was then going to rehab, she was getting clean, but then they were both thinking differently. Now, towards the end of her life, she actually was in a new relationship. He was then in a new relationship too, but the two of them couldn't break the cycle of her anyway, was still thinking about him and still was in that toxic pattern by herself then. So no one's going to break the cycle. That's why you need to leave. One person needs to leave, because no one is going to stop the drama unless someone walks out, or ends the relationship. The second reason is both of you deserve better. You both deserve to be happy. No one can be happy in toxic relationships, because it's just, as I said, it's just this up and down roller coaster. Name calling, then it's having great sex together, then finding something wrong with the other person, then criticizing, then it's back to being on a good path. You're on eggshells, you're walking on eggshells, you never know where you are, you can't experience the normal things that a healthy relationship brings, because there's no the pace is too fast. There's always something happening, there's always something to be, and that's the drama part of it, is why you need to just say to yourself, I deserve more than this. This is not what a healthy relationship is. This is not what I want anymore. And then that's the only way you're going to break it. And the final reason is it could escalate towards someone becoming really violent and someone getting killed or hurt. So toxic relationships might just start off with a bit of drama from both parties. Both people saying, oh, they're both equally as toxic as each other, and there's this going on and there's that going on, but they can lead to more dangerous types of behavior. Things are not normally, when there's abuse in a relationship, verbal or physical or financial or whatever, or sexual, there is never just usually one of those things. So you have to think, if it's toxic, there's a chance that it can increase and become even more toxic, and that can lead to the death of someone, that can lead to injury of someone, that can lead to long-term depression, it can lead to someone becoming suicidal. There's so many things, because when you feel trapped and you feel you're enjoying the drama, but also when the come down, it is almost like an addiction. Toxic relationships are, you're addicted to the drama, but then when you come down from it and you think, wow, that was too much, that was, when we were arguing like that, I didn't like that feeling, but then you're calm again. So then you go back in with that person. It's just, I'm probably going to do a whole nother video on this because there's so much to it. But to me, it's not worth it. It's not worth being in a situation for even 1 second where you're not happy, where it's not healthy, because life is too short. For me, every time I'm in a situation that I'm not enjoying and I'm not experiencing life in the way that I know I can, then I'm not wasting any more time on it. That's just how I am as a person. And I just think we need to, if we're in a toxic relationship, or if you get into one, you can still get out of it. So that's my video for today. I will be doing videos all throughout May. Some of them will be recorded, some of them will be live streams. I hope you're finding them useful. Feel free to contribute to the discussions, and thanks for watching. Bye.